Alright, let's get straight into the video. 3 months of semen retention. Guys, I'm going to tell you guys something right now, okay? I've done 11 months personally. 3 months is not that hard, okay? And once again, this is a spiritual practice, okay? This is a spiritual practice. So the vast majority of people, what they try to do is they try to reap the physical benefits, right? But what I'll tell you is that in this postmodern hyper-sexualized society that we now currently live in, okay, you could be one of the strongest men and still lose control with the type of hypersexualization that is taking place in our society. This is being propagated against us. You guys have to understand that we are on a psychological war. There's a psychological warfare that's taking place right now. Okay? Now, the interesting thing about 3 months is that it's not a long time, and long could be very relative for each individual. There's people that have been on this path for 10 years. Now, someone might think about 10 years and be like, oh, that's a lot, right? Those are the brahmacharis. Those are the people that are doing the very, very deep spiritual work on earth. Now, is that path for everyone? I can't say so. I can't tell you what your path is. But what I can tell you is deprogramming the mind that has been enslaved to the carnal mind is the mission. Now, when you do the first 1 week, let's get into the 7 days, okay? Now, the 7 days are the hardest. You might start the first 2 days. If you're chronic, if you've been doing this chronically every single day, it's going to be very hard for you for the first 3 days, 4 days, 1 week, 2 weeks. It's going to be very hard for you. It's going to be very hard for you. It's going to be very tough. You're going to have to overcome this. And it might be you do 1 day, 2 days, you slip. You do 3 days, 4 days, you slip. It might be something like that. But if you're someone that's been on and off, like you've done a week off before or whatever, then it shouldn't be that hard to push past 4 or 5 days. Okay? When you do 1 week, right after 1 week, you start to feel the energy. The energy becomes very present. It does become present, where you do start to feel like you're more energized. Okay? You do start to feel like it's not just you. It's not just you. You do start to feel like there is a life force, essence, energy that is so electric, that is very prominent. Okay? 3-month journey. 7 days in. Now, when you complete 7 days, around 7 days is where you might have the urge to relapse, okay? I'm telling you, if you pass that urge, the second week becomes easier. The second week becomes easier. I'm telling you this right now. If you can pass the 7 days, when you pass the 7 days, the second week becomes much easier. Now, here's the secret sauce. Let me tell you guys the secret sauce. Keep yourself busy. Okay? Idle, vacant time is when the devil comes and gets you. I'm just being very honest. People that have nothing to do, people that are perpetually just gossiping or staying at home all the time, doing nothing. I do get life is very cyclical. There are seasons where you're just trying to isolate and do your own thing. But when you are trying to kick off on this journey, do not ever try to be alone for too long, because that's going to be very hard. I'm telling you this. I know. I've been on this journey on and off for almost 4 years, okay? Or maybe more. So I know what I'm talking about. If you can make it past the first week, the second week becomes easier. Now, after you get onto the second week and up, now you really, when you start going to the gym, you feel the energy with you. Okay? When you start to actually exercise, you feel the energy with you. When you're trying to study for a test, you start to feel the energy with you. Okay? Hold on, it's like raining outside, so you guys are gonna probably hear some background noise. Now when you're in your third week, okay, and the reason why I'm not telling you 1 month, 2 months, and 3 months, because I want you guys to get a detailed view of a detailed analysis of what I'm talking about. Okay, now on your third week, you can start to expect people's behavior start to change with you a little bit. You might start seeing that people are smiling more, people are respecting you more, people are gravitating towards you a little more, just a little more, not a lot more, a little more. Okay? People just feel different around you right now. Some people might even ask you, like, what are you doing? Like, why you just, something is different about you at this point. 30 days. 30 days is this one like barrier a lot of guys have in their subconscious mind. Oh, once I make it to 30 days, I can nut now. That barrier, that subconscious programming has to get eradicated. It has to go. It has to go. If you are on the Brahmacharya journey, if you are on the path of retention, I call it the less than 1% man's path. This is less than, not even 1%. This is less than 1% of the man's path. You are on a mission to connect. You are on a remember that. Remember, a person that actually understands the fifth dimension, which we're going to talk about on this channel. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, I don't know why. Once you understand the fifth dimension, right, you'll never want to actually engage with your carnal desires, even though you might do it, but you'll never want to. See, do you see the difference over there? Do you see the difference? You'll never want to, because you'll know. And that want to not doing it will actually eradicate self-pleasure eventually. And it could take you months. It could take you years. It could take you years. No one's bulletproof over here. Okay? This is why I was so open about my relapse on my channel, because I don't want you guys to think I'm perfect. I don't want you guys to come over here on my channel, be like, oh, look at this guy. He's glowing. Look at his confidence. He can speak to the camera. Look at him. I don't want you guys to think that. I'm a human. I make mistakes too. Okay? This is why I made a relapse video. One thing I don't do is that I don't give up. I have plans and I propagate. I don't give up. I keep getting back up, and you don't ever give up on this journey too, because this is the journey where you're connecting to the higher self. You're trying to get back connected to the higher self. Now, back into the video. Once you hit the 1 month mark, eradicate, even before when you get on your streak, eradicate that programming. Oh, I hit 30 days. No. Give yourself an actual, to be very honest, it's a lifelong goal. It's a lifelong goal. But the way humans are designed, we like to hit milestones. It's just in our programming, okay? For a lot of these guys are like, oh, don't count the days. Dude, people like to, you need to appreciate yourself for the days that you've come far. I do get the logic. I understand their logic. It's no judgment on them for telling you to not count the days. But there's a certain feel, a certain appreciation you get for yourself, where you're like, oh shit, I did it, right? Oh shit, I hit that mark. And you give yourself cheers. Like you really start to learn who you are as a person. Now, passing 30 days, okay? $30 to 90 days, well, I'm going to give you a general view, is anywhere where you can get the flat line. is where you start to feel like, oh, like, oh, it's not working anymore. Oh, it's not that. It's not that. The flatline does happen. It's a reality that happens. Now, I'm going to speak about this in my upcoming classes. I'm going to try to hold classes. I'll try to do that, or program, whatever I'm going to do, okay? Because this is very detailed. This is not you just wake up and you just do it. For most people, it's never like that. You need to learn how to connect to the breath. You need to learn how to do pranayama. You need to, because the energy has to be transmuted. It just can't stay at your solar plexus. It can't just stay at your most lowest chakra. It can't. It has to come up. It has to elevate. Because once it starts to elevate, you start to move. You start to flow. You start to flow. And remember, if that hits you, if you get to a stagnated point, you have to start breathing, and a lot of different exercises that I'll teach you. Now, when you hit the 30 plus day mark, okay, and you've never done it before, you're going to feel very different. You're going to feel very good, okay? At 30 days to 60 days, you start to feel like a different person. You start, not that you're fully rewired right now. Far from it. Because rewiring, like real rewiring and hypersexual, especially if you were a chronic person, that could even take up to a year. And I'm just being honest. Like, that could take up to a year. A full, dedicated year. Okay? Depending on how bad it has become for you. Okay? Now, at 30 days, you're going to start appreciating yourself. What ends up happening at 30 days is you start to... It becomes easier for you. Okay, to abstain from masturbation, to abstain from going out and, perverting yourself in different ways. You start to really, and I want you guys to know something too. I want you guys to go in with a goal. If this is something you're doing for the first time and you just need to rewire yourself, okay, what's going to end up happening is you're going to gain a lot of confidence in this journey. Around the 2-month mark, we're going to hit the 2 month. Okay. Around the 2-month mark, you're going to get a lot of confidence. You're going to get a lot of eye stares. You're going to get a lot of girls, because a lot of women can smell a man on retention. They just know you're on retention. They just know it. They feel the electricity, and something is giving them a proclivity towards you. Something is telling them that this guy is amazing. This guy has a personality. This guy is different. This guy is adventurous. This guy is not like a common man, because it's gonna show. Okay, it's gonna show. So what you now start doing is at 2 months, you have to set the goal. You have to set the. If you're doing it for the first time and you're fully trying to rewire yourself, try not to talk to the ladies. Now, if you have done a streak before for 3 months, 6 months, whatever, right? And your goal is to actually go out and engage with women, then it's okay. So you see the scenario difference, because there's a scenario playing. There's a difference in scenario. For the man that wants to be in a relationship, in an actual committed relationship, it's fine for you. It's fine for you to go out, and I actually encourage you. Once that happens, the girls start coming, start to talk to the girls and start to pick the right girl for you. And you just have more intuition when you're on this journey. Remember this, okay? That's what you do around 2 months. You're just going to get a lot of women being attracted to you, okay? Now, one thing I want to say, guys, please listen to me very carefully, guys. Please don't just do this to get girls. Please don't just do this to find temporary pleasure. I get it, it's very hard. It's very hard, I do get it. But it is going to mess you over. Temporary pleasure is going to mess you over. If you're doing this, no matter how good looking of a man you are, no matter how handsome you are as a man, okay? Please try to find yourself the right woman to have a sexual exchange with. Don't just go for, you know what I'm talking about. Don't just go for that. Go for this. Go for that. Because the more, again, go watch my previous videos where I talk about soul ties. You don't want to get into a soul tie with a woman who your energy and your frequency does not match with. Think about it. If you get into a soul tie with a woman, which you automatically get once you do it with her, right? Imagine if she's been with other men. Imagine all that energy coming into your body. There's a reason why when you have sexual exchange with a woman, she starts to act like you and you start to act like her. There's a reason why that happens, right? So please just don't do it for the temporary pleasure. Now, once you hit the 2 to 3 month mark, okay, now we're talking to the 2 to 3 month mark right now, okay? At this point, if you were chronic, you have unwired yourself like 10 to 20%. Pay attention to what I'm saying. 10 to 20% you have unwired yourself, okay? From that deep of a matrix, I would call it, because it is a part of the matrix, okay? There's a reason why they give it to you for free when it's not really for free. I'm telling you this right now. They know what they're doing, okay? At this point, 10 to 15% of your if you have been a brahmachari, if you have done 3-4 months before, then keep one thing in mind, okay? Keep one thing in mind. For 95% of men, you at least minimum would need 9 months to 1 year, somewhere around there, to fully deprogram yourself. To at least, I can't say fully, but at least 95% of the deprogramming, it's gonna take 9 months to 12 months. Okay, I'm just being honest with you guys. Now, once you've hit, so keep it a rule. If you're hitting 30 days, 3 months, you've deprogrammed yourself 10 to 15, around 15 to 20%, I would say, okay? You've deprogrammed yourself that much. So once you've deprogrammed yourself that much, you start to feel more free. You start to feel like you are the one that controls your body does not control you, okay? And once you claim your freedom, and you don't claim just your freedom by saying it, you claim your freedom with action. You have to take perpetual action to the right way, okay? That's what you've got. If you want to claim freedom, okay? That's what it is. That being said, that's a very basic 3-month timeline that you guys are looking at. And this should be very exciting. I would take it up as a challenge. I would take this up as a challenge like you do for your nutrition, like you do for your gym. I would take this up as a challenge, and you will feel the difference. But again, this is a 3-month timeline for 99% of men in postmodern society right now. I want to at least see them do 10 months to 1 year, 9 months to 1 year, at least once in their lifetime. And minimum once in their lifetime. I would say this practice should be done after every 2-3 years. You're doing 10 to 11 months. You're trying to, if you have a partner, then at least even with your partner, you've got to start to learn Tantra. You've got to start to learn Tantra so you could actually not just ejaculate and give your energy away. No. This energy is very precious. I'm telling you guys this. Okay? That being said, if you haven't subscribed, I don't know why you haven't done that. You can go to my previous videos, and on this channel, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to even talk about the 5D ascension that we are currently having. Okay? The 3D world that you see, where there's judgment being casted, where there's people perpetually in greed and suffering, all this is going to get eradicated if you elevate yourself. Okay? Take care. Have yourself a wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you are.